Hall in Nullagine, which I declare open at 10:30 a.m. Council acknowledges the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today, the Palku people, and their continuing connection to land, waters and community. May I ask everyone present to turn off and refrain from using their mobile phones for the duration of the meeting. Tablets and laptops are permitted for the purpose of accessing agenda items and notes. I advise all those in attendance that this meeting is being audio recorded, which can be accessed by members of the public and media, and council members should refrain from making any defamatory statements. The meeting is also being live streamed, and a recording of which will be available on the Shire's YouTube channel and website. Members of the public are advised that anyone who has any application lodged with the Shire of East Pilbara must obtain it and should only rely on written confirmation of the outcome of the application and any conditions attaching to the decision made by Shire of East Pilbara in respect to the application. We have had attendance by electronic means request for attendance to the meeting received from Councillor Peter Bear, Councillor David Cooler, Councillor Annabelle Landy and Councillor Lou Lockyer, which are approved by me as Shire President presiding this meeting in accordance with Regulation 14C of the Local Government Administration Regulations of 1996. We have...
Sorry, could I just ask that you also approve Milton's? Sorry, I didn't list him on the run sheet.
My apologies, yes. Councillor Milton Chapman is also approved under that regulation 14C. Thank you.
Thank you.
The regular attendance, apologies and leave of absence, we have them all logged down and their locations. There's nil apologies and nil leave of absence. Requests for future applications will be addressed in agenda in item 10. Disclosure of interests. Are there any further disclosures of interest to be made in relation to any of today's items? Moving on to item 5, declarations by council members to have due consideration to all matters contained in the business paper for this meeting. Councillor Peter Bear. Councillor Brooks.
I confirm that I'm familiar with the contents of the council agenda and supporting documents for this meeting, in so much that I have been informed.
Thank you. Councillor Patching.
I confirm that I'm familiar with the contents of the council agenda and supporting documents for this meeting.
Thank you. Councillor Lockyer.
I confirm that I'm familiar with the contents of the council agenda and the supporting documents for this meeting.
Thank you. Councillor Ball.
I confirm that I'm familiar with the contents of the council agenda and supporting documents for this meeting.
Thank you. Councillor Chapman.
I confirm that I'm familiar with the contents of the council agenda supporting the document of this meeting.
Thank you. Councillor Cooler.
I confirm that I'm familiar with the contents of the council agenda and supporting documents for this meeting.
Thank you. Councillor Landy.
You're on mute.
Josh, you're on
Josh,
mute.
you're on mute.
My apologies. Sorry, Annabelle. I did hear her say it. You have to say it.
I have committed consideration matters contained in the business paper before the meeting.
Thank you. I too confirm I'm familiar with the contents as been advised by the council agenda and supporting documents for this meeting. So we move on. Item 6, there is nil response to previous questions take on notice. As for items 7, the questions by members for which due notice has been given, and we move on to item 8, public question time. If you wish to ask a question, anyone wish to ask a question? No? Okay, thank you. Moving on to petitions, deputations and presentations where there are nil. The applications for leave of absence. So are there any requests for leave of absence for future meetings if they are at the following? Yeah. Any applications?
No, thank you.
Sorry, was that? Miss that? No? Okay, sweet. Can I please have a mover and a seconder? I am applying for leave of absence for the next meeting. It's my grandfather's 100th birthday on the same day, so I must attend. So thank you, Councillor Brooks. And seconder? Yep, Councillor Bear, thank you. for August 2026. A show of hands, please. All those in favour? Thank you. I can't see online. Yep, Newman Chambers, yes, thank you. Dave, I missed you. Sorry, mate. Thank you. Okay, excellent. All for, none against. Item 11.1, the confirmation of the minutes of the previous council meeting. So minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on 3 July and special council meeting held on 17 July 2026 have been circulated and published on the Shire's website. Officer's recommendation reads the ordinary and confidential minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on 3 July 2026 and the special council meeting held on 17th July 2026 as published on the Shire's website and councillor portal be confirmed as true and correct copy of proceedings. A mover, please. Councillor Werder Brooks, seconder. Councillor Patching, thank you. Are there any changes that councillors are seeking?
None from me, thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing to add.
Anybody else have any changes required? To the vote, please. All those in favour, show of hands. Thank you. All for and none against. It's carried. Moving on to item, members' reports. So council members' reports will be included in the minutes. Are there any further members' reports for this meeting? Okay, are there any matters for recommendation?
Sorry, I have a member's report, Anthony.
Sorry, yes.
Just wanted to table that this week I attended the Yule River Bush meeting in just out of Port Hedland, which brought together Aboriginal community members, Aboriginal community controlled organisations, key stakeholders, government agencies and state government ministers to discuss important issues affecting communities across the Pilbara region. The meeting provided an opportunity to review actions and outcomes from previous gatherings and highlighted progress in strengthening relationships between Aboriginal communities and government agencies, including the Departments of Justice, Health and Education. A range of significant community issues were raised and discussed throughout the meeting, and some of the topics included the water quality and access to safe drinking water in remote communities, housing standards and overcrowding and the availability of suitable housing, education outcomes, including the importance of preserving and supporting Aboriginal languages in school. Their health priorities particularly identified gaps in mental health services and alcohol and other drug support programs within the Pilbara. These matters were discussed directly with the Minister Don Punch, Minister Sanderson and representatives from the Department of Premier and Cabinet, the Department of Communities and other government stakeholders, including Watercorp. The forum provided an important platform for community members to share their experience and advocate for practical solutions to ongoing The meeting also reinforced the important role that local government play to support our Aboriginal communities and helping to elevate local concerns through advocacy, partnership and collaboration with government agencies. It highlighted important opportunities for local government to work alongside communities to achieve improved outcomes across a range of social and economic issues. Whilst it was encouraging to see engagement from many organisations, I was unfortunately the only representative attending on behalf of the Shire of East Pilbara. In contrast, our neighbouring local governments, including the Shire of Ashburton, City of Karratha and Town of Port Hedland, all had strong presence at the event. Given the significance of the issues being discussed and the direct relevance to many of the communities within our Shire, attendance at future meetings should be encouraged to ensure that Shire of East Pilbara remains actively engaged in these important regional discussions and not isolate ourselves in those discussions either. Overall, the Yule River Bush meeting was a valued and productive forum that facilitated open dialogue between communities, service providers, government agencies and decision makers. It provided important insights in community priorities and reinforced the need to ongoing collaboration and address the challenges facing Aboriginal communities across the region. Finally, they will have a working group engagement with communities, and I believe Newman and some of the other smaller townships may be on that agenda. So I'd encourage the Shire to participate and also help get the word out for those engagements for community as well. That's it.
Thank you. Any other? Sorry.
Hello.
Yes.
Question. Also, talking Europe and taking people that are talking Europe on software matter, they need to go and visit the community and see what is happening in the area. They need to see it for themselves. Talking on another land is not going to solve their problem.
Yeah.
They need to go out there.
Good point, Milton. That was actually put to the ministers there, and a lot of the head of the agencies, that they go out and see the housing, see the roads, see everything for themselves, because talking about it isn't always productive enough when it's constant issue.
It was only when that chick was around, the community was built only then, 30 years ago, 30, 40 years ago. Now our communities are standstill.
Yeah.
Through the chair, can I just say, when we are speaking to ministers, particularly federal, particularly in that the Aboriginal ministers and so forth, we always are asking and super encouraging them to go out and see it on the ground. We can show you pictures in a brochure, but you actually need to see it. And we very much stress things like water quality, housing, access to those areas via the roads, etc. In a strong way. But we are getting some, let's say, probably on the opposite side of the house that's in power now, going and visiting these areas, which is great. So at least if they get in power, they can make a noise now, but they can actually do something about it if they do get into power. But we certainly are pushing that exact argument, Milton, that they actually need to see it for themselves to understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, because we have our son-in-law, living in one house. It does that. They should be, somewhere else, sitting in another house.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and Stephen's right. We can improve, though, on the state government, absolutely, and we'll take that on board. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Is there any matters for recommendation, councillors? Moving on to 13.1.1, the strategic community plan. Where the office recommendation reads that council adopts the strategic community plan 2026-2036, subject to any required minor changes. Please note this is an absolute majority decision of council, which is required for this item. A mover, please. Councillor Brooks, seconder. Councillor Patching, thank you. Councillor Brooks, you used to speak.
Yes, I would. I think this 10-year strategic community plan is slightly differently presented to the ones that I have seen previously, in that there is explanation of the terms within. All those words that people look at a community plan or a government document and go, what does this mean? It's set out very simply, and I think for those members of our community who want to use it to understand where we are at and what we do, it's an excellent roadmap. So thank you to the Community Directorate for putting this together. I can't see a spot where I would improve it to tweak it for the bush like I usually do. So thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Patching.
Nothing to add other than, I support winning in the quality of the...
Thank you. Any other councillors? Nope. Okay, now put that to the vote, please. It's a majority of council, so please raise your hand. All those in favour? Thank you. All for and none against is carried. Moving on to 13.1.2, the Shire of East Pilbara Corporate Business Plan 2026-2030. Recommendation reads that Council 1 adopts a Corporate Business Plan 2026-2030 as attached in this report as Appendix 1, and 2, authorise the Chief Executive Officer to make minor administrative and formatting amendments to the plan prior to publication. Mover, please. Councillor Brooks, thank you. Seconder. Councillor Patching, thank you. Councillor Brooks.
Only to commend this report to you all. I have nothing to add to it other than it makes sense. Thank you and appreciate the work done.
Thank you, Councillor Patching.
Yeah, nothing to add.
Anybody else? All those in favour, please raise your hands. Thank you. All for and none against. It's carried. 13.1.3, Community Grants Program, proposed changes to policy, grant guidelines, delegation and in-kind support grants, where the recommendation reads that Council 1 endorses the proposed changes to the in-kind support grant category. 2, accepts the review of the grants and sponsorships policy and adopts and renames the Community Grants Policy attached as Appendix 1. 3, endorses the proposed community grants guidelines attached as Appendix 3, and 4, adopts the amended grants and funding allocations delegation attached as Appendix 4 and authorises the Chief Executive Officer to update the delegations register. This also is an absolute majority decision of Council, so please bear that in mind. A mover, please. Councillor Patching, thank you. Councillor Chapman is the seconder, thank you. Councillor Patching, you wish to speak?
No, nothing to add.
Thank you. Councillor Chapman, do you wish to speak?
Oh, no, thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else? Councillor Bear, yes, please.
I just confirm that the feedback and amendments that I sent through by email were added.
Yes, I can confirm that that's the case. And also for the credit card policy that we've got coming up as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Show of hands. All those in favour, please. Thank you. All for, none against. It is carried. Thank you. .1.4. The proposed lease Telstra Limited at R41654. Recommendation reads that Council 1, subject to ministerial approval under Section 18 of the Land Administration Act 1997, approves a deed of assignment and extension between the Shire of East Pilbara and Telstra Limited for a period of 5 years from 2024 to 2029 for an annual rent of $12,463.74 plus GST, with annual rent reviews on the anniversary of the commencement of the first term for 3%. 2, authorise the Chief Executive Officer to execute the deed of agreement on behalf of the Shire. And 3, authorise the Chief Executive Officer to approve minor variations in accordance with the minor variations policy. A mover, please. Councillor McWhirter-Brooks. Councillor Patching is a seconder. Councillor McWhirter-Brooks, you wish to speak? Okay. Some tech issues. Councillor Brooks, you wish to speak?
My apologies. No, I do not.
Thank you. Councillor Patching.
No, nothing to add.
Thank you. Anybody else? Show of hands, please. All those in favour? All for, none against. Is carried. Thank you. 30.1.5, award a tender RFT 19-2025/26 Newman Airport Taxiway and Apron Construction Phase 1. Recommendation reads that Council 1 award tender RFT 19-2025/26 for the Newman Airport Taxiway Apron Construction Phase 1 to Durack Civil Proprietary Limited for the maximum tendered price as provided as confidential Appendix 1 to this report. 2, authorise the Chief Executive Officer to finalise the contract between the Shire and East Pilbara and Durack Civil Proprietary Limited. 3, authorise the Chief Executive Officer to apply the common seal of the Shire of East Pilbara to the contract between the Shire of East Pilbara and Durack Civil Proprietary Limited, and authorise the Chief Executive Officer to approve any minor contracts variations in accordance with the Council's minor variation policy. 5, pursuant to Section 5.234C1 and to the Local Government Act 1995, that Appendix 1 to the report be withheld from publication as a confidential document. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor McWhirter-Brooks, thank you. Seconder, Councillor Patching. Councillor McWhirter-Brooks, you wish to speak?
Nothing to add, thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Patching?
Nothing to add.
Thank you. Anybody else? If I can for myself, I just need some more commentary at the next briefing session around what Phase 2 and Phase 3 look like and what that means. What will Phase 1 actually achieve? It was mentioned the other day that 1.5 times the capacity, but I feel that that's probably at the completion of Stage 2 and 3, not just Stage 1. Is that correct?
The Stage 1 will give you 2 additional apron bays and a taxiway, so it does times your capacity by 1.5.
At the end of completion of Phase 1, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Then the upgrade of the subsequent bays are the next phases. That doesn't affect capacity. It just gives you a more robust asset.
Yeah, okay. And I guess...
Are those upgrades, sorry though, are the upgrades to the taxiway increase the capacity of planes, but do they increase the capacity of passengers? Because if the planes come in but the passengers can't be accommodated inside the terminal, yes, in theory it's an upgraded capacity, but do the two things not have to happen at the same time in order to have that upgraded capacity?
So I can get some clarity, right? The purpose, there's two reasons that we put in this extra taxiway in. There was a chicken and which one do we do first, the terminal first or we do the taxiway first? The issue that we're having with the taxiways, we've got 105 plane movements, 500,000 plus people come through our airport. We can't turn the tap off. We can't get time to get in and do major maintenance. So when we get and these planes weigh, they're very, very heavy. So they're coming through, and if we get a failure in certain areas, which we are starting to get in some locations, we can do it at night and it's a patch. It's really not the end result that we're looking for. So in order to get to those ones and have a good run at them, we need to build this extra taxiway so then these ones can be released during certain time periods. Will there be more planes coming into this airport? I believe there will be. And the reason being that we're already getting noise from Qantas saying, when will this extra taxiway be built? We will have some power there to say, well, yeah, you can't use that one because we're fixing this one first, and so forth, or having a good, getting some of the, even if it's intermediate type works, we can actually get there and do some real solid works. It's particularly issues over the culvert areas where there's a difference of different materials that have been used through the thing. So that's that part. In relation to the terminal, will it attract more people? I think the answer is absolutely yes. There could be more planes just coming in. That could be one of the outcomes, or the other one could be more planes and more people. We, in the sector, if I can talk about the growth, last 5 years we had 360,000 passengers. We're at 500,000 plus. It's still growing, and the mining sector is not shrinking. So I can't say exactly how many more people, but if more planes are coming in, if I was to look at Saturday mornings, we normally have a Qantas flight. It's full. They could do with another one. And I think there is, on occasions, there is two coming in now on this Saturday. So it is moving, and there's more people coming. But I think the answer to your question, Peter, is should we build that terminal? Well, absolutely we should, but we just need a lousy $100 and something million to build it. So we'll keep looking for that a way forward. That doesn't mean we're borrowing funds for it.
Can I just clarify? My question was more around if the upgraded taxiway automatically equals increased capacity, or is the increased capacity only going to be realised once the actual terminal upgrades haven't occurred?
I probably, sorry, in relation to answer that question, I think it could if we allow it to, but we have the control of which aprons we will allow to be opened and closed. So, there would be some prudence to build this one, fix another one up, and in the meantime, that would mean we still have the same capacity. And then when we fix the other one, you're back to 3 taxiways, 6.
So theoretically, it's an increased capacity of 1.5, but it's not actually going to be practically 1.5 because it's not going to be utilised in that way until much later.
It could take some time. It gives you the capacity to go there, but I can tell you, Qantas and them already making noises about when we get here. It will grow over time. I can't give an exact number.
So back to my comments initially, I guess council need to be briefed on exactly what the cost is looking at for stage 2 and stage 3 so that we know how that's going to look. I do note also that there's a GL named in there as NEA 2512. Don't even know what that is, and whether or not it's for the full project costs, but that's for the superintendent services, but it'll probably be beneficial for us to understand what that is, so we can actually collate the full costs of the overall project, including the superintendent services. I also have some queries around the QA and technical requirements, which is in the scope. I don't understand how in there it says lighting, line marking, asphalt, concrete, lighting be applicable. And I put that in inverted commas because it's absolutely required under CAS's regulations from what I'm led to believe. I don't run airports, but I don't understand how in a scope it's if applicable. It'll be actually directly relevant. Additionally to that, Yeah, so that's one comment. And then, I actually has a question, so please.
NEA 2512 is the cost centre for the project budget. I think at the moment within that cost centre is 31 million. Whilst the contract value is 34 at the moment, we're really confident that we're going to, through contract negotiation, reduce the price to be within that funding envelope.
Okay.
Principally, there are some real cost savings around materials. A lot of the materials specified need to be road trucked in at the moment. But we're confident that we can use local materials to reduce that price. So that's the cost centre in its entirety.
Okay.
In terms of the lighting, I'd have to look specifically where it says it in the spec. Yeah.
Yeah, because in the scope, I don't understand how it's if applicable, right? It's absolutely necessary.
Yeah, some places they are reusing the existing lighting and stuff like that. So I'd need to look at it.
Yeah, okay.
And come back to you on that.
Particularly insurance, the lighting is incorporated in the price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is all going to be CASA compliant as well. So.
Yeah, that would then my follow-up question was, are we sure that these items that, if applicable, aren't going to add variations or reputational risk to us
we were confident it's a lump sum contract and it's going to be CASA compliant.
Excellent. Cool. Thank you. No further questions on that one. Anybody else? Okay, put that to the vote, please. All those in favour, show of hands, please. Thank you. All for and none against. It's carried. 13.1.6, the award of tender RFT 092025/26, provision of airport operations management. Recommendation reads that Council 1 awards the tender RFT 09-2025/26 for the provision of airport management services to Regional Airport Management Services for the tendered price for the initial 3-year term, as provided in confidential appendix 1 to this report. 2, authorise the Chief Executive Officer at their sole discretion to exercise the options to extend the contract for 2 additional 1-year terms in accordance with the contract conditions and subject to the satisfactory performance by the contractor and the continued operational need for the tendered price as provided at item 10.2 in the confidential appendix 1 to this report. 3, authorise the Chief Executive Officer to finalise the contract between the Shire of East Pilbara and Regional Airport Management Services. 4, authorise the Chief Executive Officer to approve any minor contract variations in accordance with the Council's minor variation policy. 5, notes pursuant to section 5.234C1 and 2 of the Local Government Act 1995, the confidential appendix 1 of this report be withheld from publication as a confidential document. Move it, please. Councillor Roberta Brooks, thank you. Councillor Lockyer is a seconder. Councillor Roberta Brooks, you wish to speak?
No, thank you.
Councillor Lockyer? Thank you. Anybody else? Show of hands, please. All those in favour? It's carried unanimously. Thank you. 13.1.7, the status of council decisions 3 and 17 July 2026, where the recommendation reads that council notes the report. A mover, please. Councillor Roberta Brooks. Seconder. Councillor Cooler, thank you. Councillor Roberta Brooks, you wish to speak?
Nothing to add, thank you.
Councillor Cooler? You're on mute.
No, yeah, sorry. All good. Nothing to add.
Anybody else? Show of hands, please. Unanimous. Thank you very much. All for, none against. 13.1.8, fixing the competency on delegated authority, where the officer's recommendation reads that we note the report. Move it, please. Councillor Roberta Brooks, thank you. Seconder. Councillor Patching, thank you. Councillor Roberta Brooks, you wish to speak?
Nothing to add.
Councillor Patching?
Nothing to add.
Thank you. Anybody else? Show of hands. All those in favour? Thank you. All for, none against. 13.2.1, the long-term financial plan 2026-2027 to 2036-2037. Officer's recommendation reads that council adopts the long-term financial plan 2026-27 to 2036-2037. A mover, please. Councillor Roberta Brooks. A seconder. Councillor Patching. Councillor Roberta Brooks, you wish to speak?
Nothing to add.
Thank you. Patchy.
Nothing to add.
Thank you. Anybody else? Show of hands, please. All those in favour? Thank you. All for and none against. The LTFP is carried. Moving on to the policy review for 13.2.2, where the officer's recommendation reads that Council accepts and review of and adopts a revised corporate credit card policy attached as Appendix 1. Mover, please. Councillor Roberta Brooks. Thank you. Seconder, Councillor Bear. Councillor Roberta Brooks, you wish to speak.
Yes, I'd just like to, a question, if I may. Can I ask about the education of staff to comply with this policy, please? We can see in the policy where there are the punitive actions if people don't meet the conditions of using their credit cards that they're issued with. What's the education look like?
So,
Through the chair. Oh, I'm happy to answer that.
Thank you.
Through the chair, the education involves the manager of finance and the officer who monitors the reporting on credit cards, sitting down with each individual card holder, making sure that they understand what their obligations are under the policy, and having that officer, then the card holder, sign an acknowledgement, which is located as an appendix to that policy.
can I just add, so I'm a big believer in credit cards in relation to everyone having one, so we minimise the number of people that have one. There's going to be strong justification. For example, Brett would have one because he's up in Marble Bar, for example, or the events team might need to go doing a lot of little bits and pieces, but otherwise we'd very much minimise the use of credit cards. We do scrutinise.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Bears, the seconder.
Can I just clarify that this motion doesn't have the little thing on the end that says subject to minor amendments? Is the policy that we're adopting here the one that was initially put up in the agenda, or is it the one that includes the minor amendments that I sent through to you, Josh? Or do we need to amend that?
I would look at thanks for raising this. I would, if the mover and seconder and the council is happy, I would suggest that we add subject to minor corrections in this one, please.
Councillor Roberta Brooks and Councillor Bear is a mover and seconder. Are you happy for that? Councillor Roberta Brooks is happy.
Yes, thank you.
Councillor Bear, happy with that? Thank you. So,
Yes,
subject
thank
to minor amendments is the motion. Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak? So as long as every single transaction is recorded and shown to us, that's all we really need, to be honest. So thank you very much. A show of hands, please, for the vote. All in favour? All for, none against. Dave, not there. Oh, he is. Thank you. .2.3, monthly list of accounts 1 to 31 May and 1 to 30 June 2026, where the recommendation reads that Council 1 endorses the payments for the period 1 to 31 May 2026 as detailed in the confidential Appendix 1 as published in the agenda. 2 endorses the payments for the period 1 to 30 June 2026 as detailed in the confidential Appendix 2 as published in the agenda. 3, pursuant to Section 5.234B of the Local Government Act 1995 and in accordance with the Council's monthly list of accounts policy, authorise that confidential appendices not be published. And 4, pursuant to Section 6.82 of the Local Government Act 1995, notes the report of the President's Section 6.81C, authorisation of the budget amendment detailed in Table 1, the report of $92,000 to meet the costs for the containment and management of the fire incident at Newman Waste Facility in July 2026. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Roberta Brooks. Seconder. Councillor Patching, thank you. Councillor Roberta Brooks. Wish to speak?
No, thank you.
Councillor Patching.
Nothing to add.
Anybody else? All in favour, please. Show of hands. Councillor Roberta Brooks, you happy for favour? You in favour? Yes. Thank you. All for and none against. 13.3.1, the development application retrospective change of use for tourist and visitor accommodation use not listed at lot 100 HN 17 Skull Springs Road, Nullagine. The officer's recommendation is quite lengthy and detailed and seeks approval for the application for a retrospective change to use at lot 100 Skull Springs Road, Nullagine for the tourist and visitor accommodation. The motion is to approve the commencement of the approval process, which requires the giving of public notice of the proposal and to advise the applicant that until the outcome of advertising is completed and development approval has been issued, the tourist and visitor accommodation land use cannot operate until such time that all required septic approvals and building certifications and approvals have been obtained prior to reopening the business operations. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Brooks. Can I get a seconder, please? Councillor Patching. Councillor Brooks, you wish to speak?
Yes, I do. On reviewing the documents provided, it's regrettable that this property is at this in this state. It appears that it's not the owner's cause that this has happened. This is the lack of regulation and lack of regulatory compliance of particularly the septic systems is what concerns me, has happened prior to these owners. How it was that the purchase was able to proceed without those documents being compliant or the situation made compliant beats me, and that's not for us to discuss. That is a failing in, I suppose, the real estate agent that handled it. I don't know. But yes, I'm happy to proceed with the recommendations as they're suggested and hopefully resolve this for the owners. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Patching?
Nothing further to add.
Thank you. Anybody else? Councillor Chapman? You got some comments?
No, mate.
No. Okay. So no more comments. I'll now put this to vote, please. All those in favour for this development application, show of hands, please. Councillor Lockyer, thank you. All for and none against. It is carried. (13.2.2) the Marble Bay Airport Terminal project as public works, where the recommendation reads that council accepts the Marble Bay Airport Terminal project as is public works as defined under the Planning and Development Act 2005. A mover, please. Councillor Brooks. A seconder, please. Councillor Ball. Thank you. The mover like to speak?
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to this next step in the development of the Marble Bar Airport. Very excited that we are getting closer to being able to have flights out of the north end of our Shire for the residents in our Shire, particularly, and to service our economic driver in the mining industry and our own business in airports. You beauty.
Thank you. Councillor Ball, you got any comments?
Nothing there.
Thank you. Anybody else? It's good to move forward. We spent a lot of money on it, so might as well use it. Thank you. Show of hands, please. All those in favour? Thank you. All for and none against. It's carried. There's nil committee reports. There is nil motions for previous notice has been given. There is nil new business of an urgent nature introduced by decision of council. Item 17 is calls for confidential matters behind closed doors. So now please may have a mover and a seconder that item. So we've got Brooks. A seconder, please. Yep, Councillor Lockyer.
Yeah, we have something at the door.
For the benefit of those watching the live stream, those of you who returned to gallery, council made the following. Oh, is there any gallery still outside?
We'll see.
Yeah, but they might have walked off. No.
No, you wouldn't have.
Oh, there is one. Yeah, one with a run. Okay.
Popped off.
Anyway, we'll continue. The item 17.1.1, the report title of sundry debt write-off. That council writes off the balance of $5,166.16, which is believed not to be recoverable. Passed all in favour and none against. The date of the next meeting is the Shire Beast Bill will be held in Newman Council Chambers on 28 August 2026. The closure, there being no further business, I now declare the Shire Beast Bill Ordinary Council meeting of 31 July 2026 closed at 11:27 a.m. I'd like to thank council members and staff for their attendance.
Okay. So there is a couple of extra, well, there's actually one major item we want to go through. And is there anything else, Josh, before I kick the directors out?